the ants could go in this little house.
So today I just wanted to share a reality I'm experiencing in my life right now of being inside my head way too much for the past 3 days and just feeling frustrated. So yesterday, the day before, and this morning, I was trying to make a video, was trying to do all the things that I had planned out in my head that I wanted to do. And life was just like, nope, we're not having it. We're not having it. Nothing's coming to you. You're not in a great mood. Yesterday was gloomy outside, and I was finding all the excuses not to do it. And I didn't do it. And this morning, I thought that I'd be a little bit better. I got up, I meditated, I did all the right things. I even went out in nature for a little bit, and I still found reasons why I shouldn't do it, or why I shouldn't be outside, enjoying the sun. And my thoughts, or my ego, what it was telling me was all the negative things that I ever believed about myself or about my life, it was confirming those for me. And it was creating a reality for me that didn't feel so good and doesn't feel so good. So that's kind of why I'm just doing a video today to, you know, usually videos make me feel better. In the past couple days, they were just making me feel frustrated because I had a couple ideas of things I wanted to speak about, and for some reason it just wasn't the time. Things weren't resonating with me, and I knew that if I wasn't resonating with what I was talking about, or I didn't really feel like talking about it, then others would see that. They would pick up on that right away, and they would not resonate with me. I knew that. And I was trying to force myself to do it anyway because I made a promise to myself. I'm going to put out a video every single day. And if I break that promise, then, you know, it means I'm broken. You know, and whenever we get frustrated, we always try to fix the problem right away. We always feel like we have to fix ourselves right away. And that's usually because we're trying to fit in. We're trying to fit into the mold of, you know, we feel like an outcast if we're not feeling so hot, or we're feeling like frustrated with ourselves, disappointed with ourselves. And that was kind of me actually like 20 minutes ago. I was sitting upstairs and I was just letting all the negative emotions flood through me. Like really terrible stuff. I was hating myself. I was hating myself, and I was confirming everything. Sorry, I still have a little left over. I was pretty much confirming everything for myself, all those negative beliefs. Now, we have two choices in life. There's basically two branches. I mean, our world works in layers. Our reality is in layers. We just don't notice it because they're kind of overlapping. You know, they look very similar to each other. But, you know, when you think about it, I was going to do this video outside actually so I could use real tree branches, but I could use pens, although I'm holding the camera here. So you have a positive branch up here, and then you have a negative branch down here. In this case, we'll use a positive pen and a negative pen. And your life track could either go one of these two branches. Whenever you make a decision, you're either choosing to go up here, or you're choosing to live in a life track that's more down here. Right now, today, the past few days, I've been on this lower tract. And that is what my reality has been showing me. And, you know, realize that whenever you come face to face with something, you always have the decision to go up or to go down. You might go a little bit up, a little bit down, or you can go way up and way down. If you go a little bit down, then chances are if you stay there and you keep making decisions and you keep going down, then you end up at a bottom tract, which is like the worst, feels really, really shitty. So what influences our ability to stay on the more positive tract or the more lower tract it's pretty much up to ourselves and our awareness, because we're going to have outside influencers. We're going to have our ego, of course, which is more of an inner influencer. But then we're going to have friends, family, society, things outside of us that are always bombarding us with information. And we take in that information, and it's how we react to that information. So when we react to something, we'll usually create something called polarization. So polarization is like good, this is bad. This is good, this is evil. This is black, this is white. See, we don't see ourselves in these overlapping layers. We see things as black and white, and that's all there is. So, you know, when you react to society, you're always comparing yourself to something, okay? So that creates polarizations. And that's where it becomes important to always be aware of where you are, where your thoughts are, be grounded with yourself, because when you're feeling ungrounded, then you are very susceptible, you're very vulnerable to those outside influences. You think you will be making decisions based on your own reasoning, but you're making decisions based on those outer influencers or your ego, because you've kind of let your guard down. When you're unaware, you're no longer centered, you're no longer grounded, then, like I said, you're susceptible. It's almost like a cold or a disease or a virus. You know, when your immune system is down, then you are more prone to getting that thing or that disease. When your immune system is strong and boosted, when your awareness is strong and you're grounded and you're stable, then you are more likely to not get the disease and to stay where you are and be able to make sound judgment and reasoning. So I'm going to relate this to now and what's going on in the world right now. The more negative influencers are seeping into your being, your body, your mind, trying to control you and keeping you on this lower tract, then actually the lower your immunity is going to be, because, you know, we are all energy, we're vibration, frequency, and, you know, disease, virus, negative things like that resonate at a lower frequency. So do negative thoughts. You know, when you have negative thoughts, they are at a lower resonance, lower frequency. So I'll relate it to the news, for example. So if you're on a lower track, then, you know, the news is very negative, as we all know. So that's resonating at a lower tract as well. So like attracts like. So the more you are resonating at a frequency like that, the more susceptible you are to allowing that stuff to enter your world, enter your reality, and the more you remain there. Whereas if you are at a higher tract, or you're feeling more grounded, more stable within yourself, you're stronger, you know, you see information you see the news or something like that in a different way. If you're not obsessed, you're not creating polarization where you're placing so much importance and you're obsessing over it and watching it 24/7. You're aware of the information, you take in the information, but you don't let it kind of overpower you and control you. And a lot of times, if you are at a higher tract, you know, watching something like the news or like violent shows and things like that, feel very uncomfortable, more uncomfortable for you if you're resonating if you're at a higher vibration in your body, because those things are not, you know, like attracts like. So they're not in alignment to the frequency that you're putting out there. So it's going to feel uncomfortable for you. It's almost like when you meet somebody and they give you, I was going to use the word the willies. That's such a stupid word. They give you the willies. They make you feel very uncomfortable. It's because you're on a different level with them. And I've talked about this before, you know, especially my video on energy vampires and feeling drained. And especially if you are more the, like an empath person who's very sensitive to people's energy and picking up on what somebody's thinking or feeling, then you're more susceptible to this too. And that's why it's more important than ever to keep your vibration raised high. So, you know, I am I'm working to raise the vibration up. I thought that being outside in nature was going to, because that usually does. Usually the two things that boost myself up, raise my body's vibration, are music and nature. Those are two very special things that usually work. Today, so-so. So the third thing that usually will work, and I'm sure this will work because it did work yesterday for a little while, and then I dipped back down, but that's normal. You know, you will dip back. You will have dips and ebbs and flows and stuff like that. But laughter. You know, I filmed a funny video of my dog's feet the other day, and it made me laugh. I posted it up on YouTube, you know, so laughter, man, you got to make yourself laugh. When you are feeling down in the dumps, when you are feeling stuck, find anything, a friend, your pet, a video of like stupid animals being stupid. Anything to make you laugh. Not just smile, but laugh. If you can find something, watch like old I Love Lucy sitcoms or something. If you can laugh, then that is the instantaneous way to raise yourself up. No doubt. Laughter. Humor. And a lot of us don't laugh enough. And, you know, it's because, you know, if you think about it, when you were a kid, you laughed a whole lot more than you probably do as an adult. Probably. Unless you're like a comedian or something, or have a husband or wife who's a comedian, then you as a kid guaranteed laughed a lot more than you do as an adult. So as an adult, why can't you bring out your inner child again? Why can't you bring out that side of you? So it's never lost. It's never, well, I'll put it this way, it's never gone. Sometimes it may be lost, but it's still in you. It's still in you, you just have to bring it out of you, and laughter is one of the best ways to bring that out of you. Being silly. Now is the time, you know, a lot of people are stuck at home right now, so be silly, do stupid things, you know, dress up and film yourself dancing around the living room or something like that. Be stupid. So here's me as a kid. And here's me now. You hear me talk, you know, when I was a kid, I wasn't making videos on how to get out of a funk. I was just living my life. I was living from heart. We don't have a clear picture of what's really going on, because it's like all these thoughts are popping in our head, all these negative thoughts are popping in our head, and we never get a clear picture on who we really are. All that static, all that noise, all those things floating around is not the clear picture, is not who you actually are. You know, when you have these negative thoughts, they are your emotion that is associated with either a past memory. So when you have like an experience right now, your brain is always going to search for a similar experience from your past. And whatever emotion that you had from a similar experience from your past, it's going to bring that emotion back up. You're going to repeat the cycle over and over until you break it, until you learn to be in your awareness, your centered point. Because when you're there, then you can observe what you're actually feeling and what you're, you know, the emotions that you're feeling, but you can observe what the stories are going on in your head. And you can choose a different story for yourself. So yeah, on that note, you know, I feel a little bit better now that I kind of rambled a little bit, but yeah, you know, that's where I'm at today. And you know, I hope anybody else who is feeling kind of stuck or isolated or depressed, sad, whatever, just realize, you know, it's about not letting that story that you tell yourself, not letting that become your ultimate or your permanent reality. Understanding that that can be a temporary reality, sure, because we have layers in our world. And, you know, get back to to yourself. Get back to that inner child of yourself. Get back to being that grounded, stable person so that you can rationally make a decision to move up, because you're observing that that place where you are is not permanent. It's temporary. It's temporary, like our existence, right? We're here temporarily on Earth, and then we I don't know, we go somewhere else. So on that note, hope you all have a great day. I'm gonna do a little bit of self-care today. Really try to get out of this brain of mine, and do something fun. Make myself laugh. Go see my dog. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Bye, boys and girls. I'll see you on channel number 2.